The news has broken. It's finally happened and we can finally talk about it. It's been speculated ever since it ended in March last year, and I've been saying it right down to the month whenever I've mentioned it, to be fair to me. But Dragon Ball Super is returning to television in July 2019, as of this video's date that is anyway, because that could change.
Hey guys, King Kanji here, and if you want to have a laugh and poke a bit of fun at the series, then join me and various other YouTubers in my more light-hearted Dragon Ball videos, including the Fusion Challenge series and the Heal Kanji series on my channel.
But it's to coincide with the 30th anniversary of Dragon Ball Z. Now, this might not actually come as a surprise to many of you at all, for a few possible reasons. Not to mention the fact that they basically outright said it at the end of Dragon Ball Super, but the first reason being because Super was performing absolutely brilliantly in terms of ratings and merchandise sales for the last arc, so it would have been senseless for them to just kind of go, okay, well that's enough money for me, I give up. And the next thing is, the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie did amazingly, and was also billed as Dragon Ball Super. So for those of you who had your thinking caps on, you know they wouldn't have broken the chain of naming all the recent movies Dragon Ball Z, unless they were really pushing Dragon Ball Super as a brand, which of course they were. And the third and final point being, any of you following the manga of Dragon Ball Super know that Toyotarou skipped the Broly manga and went straight on to doing the following arc featuring the Planet Eater Moro. Yeah, that's right, the goat looking guy you've probably seen on the internet everywhere, that's not a meme, that's not a fan-made character, that is actually the new villain. He is a goat. He's actually pretty awesome. There's other interesting news to link to this, being that the actual character design sheets for Dragon Ball Super Broly from everybody's favourite Shintani are being used again in the upcoming series, and consequently the heavily criticised Moro designs are being left to the Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime alone at this time, which is a relief to many of us. That's right, that means no more shiny Goku! This doesn't mean that the anime is gonna look as good as the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie simply because of the design sheets, because as we're all aware, the Broly movie had a huge budget. But regardless, this is still likely to make a nice step up for the art and animation of the show. And not to mention the sketchy brushstroke line filter they used on the movie will be a real treat to see return, because I really liked it. The other thing going to help the overall visual appearance of the show is that it's been on planning since October. This series has been having its script developed, storyboarding completed, and recently they've even begun animating it, which in layman terms means we're not going to see as many visual hiccups and more consistent corrected aesthetics. But don't get it wrong, it will be going back to a weekly format, it just means that they're going to have a head start on it, so it's pretty exciting news. But basically this means less of Goku's noodle arms when his torso is like a taco shell, and less cross-eyed Vegeta looking like he's not listening when someone's talking to him like a naughty child refusing to acknowledge his parents. So what can we expect from the anime when it returns in July? Well, for those of you interested, you can actually read Toyotarou's Dragon Ball Super manga online and find out what's been happening, and I recommend it because it's really good. Or if you're waiting for the anime and want a brief synopsis of what's to come, I've got you covered. Goku and Vegeta get recruited, in a manner of speaking, by the Galactic Patrol to help capture a fearsome escaped prisoner. What they don't realise is that that foe isn't all that powerful in terms of physical battle power, but instead utilises energy from an external source to do battle, which consequently prevents our heroes from using certain abilities that they heavily relied on during Dragon Ball Super's first run. I don't know whether they've learned their lesson from this and just decided to do something a bit different to kind of go, yeah, okay, we get it, or if this is what they actually intended to do, but if you guys read the manga, you'll know what I mean. And if you're waiting for the anime, then you can just come back to this video, like, you know, months later and just be like, oh yeah, I get it now. This new villain has an interesting goat-themed design with a unique capability we haven't seen in Dragon Ball, and honestly it's breathing some fresh life into the series currently, because we've been in like serial hell with the show for the last couple of years really, like, you know, introduces a new bad guy, makes the old bad guy look really weak, and then the good guys get a power-up and then they defeat him. So we've been stuck getting tons of power-ups, and Goku started to have as many coloured Power Ranger forms as possible. So in July 2019, provided they're not retelling the Broly movie first like they did with Resurrection F and Battle of Gods, God forbid, which is possible given the fact that Toriyama's script for the Broly movie was far longer than the actual theatrical release, but provided that they don't retell the events of the movie, in July 2019 we start the new arc, Planet Eater Moro. I can't wait for it to begin, and what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you hope for in this new series, and until then, remember to subscribe for more in future and ring that bell for kanji themed notifications. Bye!